Andrei Zaplitny, on the other hand, was silver medalist in Cairo. He did compete in Paris and Hangzhou, but he didn't take medals there. He has qualified for the World Games, so he'll be competing in Chengdu in China in August.
It's an interesting matchup, this one.
Yeah, similar sizes, similar ability. Zaplitny may be a little more experienced. He was a world bronze medalist.
And both very tactically strong. You know, now they've just weighing each other up because they know this first point is critical. They might be willing to let this go to a passivity warning.
That's what's going to happen. It's interesting, this little, if I do this, what do you do?
Yeah, I love this. I love this part of the conversation. You know,
the physical conversation that's occurring, isn't it?
Yes.
What happens? What do you? How do you test each other?
You know, if I do that, what do you do? If I do this, and they're just seeing how they're reacting to certain things at the moment.
It's good. I mean, on the one hand, you could look at this and say, well, this is really boring. There's nothing happening. On the other hand, you can say that there's a psychological battle going on.
Absolutely. You know, they're really back and forth with this conversation. He tried to touch his hand, flicks it, the knee comes up. Okay, I'm telling you that I'm covering that kick. If you do this, I'm ready for that. You know, and then I will do something. So there is quite a lot going on, but somebody has to take a chance.
Yeah, and we're halfway through the bout, and nobody's taken a chance just yet. And if it's 0-0 at the end, it's going to be a difficult one for the referees to make a decision. The judges will have to vote one way or the other. And if
there's not a lot to go on, really.
No.
I wouldn't want that job to split these two at the moment.
Oh, there's a strong side kick into the body from Bullet. And the punch from Zaplitny at the same time. So both of them are going to score.
But no Senshu. 2-1, but no Senshu.
No, because it's not unopposed.
Ah, okay.
So if it was, let's say, Zaplitny's point only, then he would get the Senshu. But because Bullet scored as well, neither of them get Senshu.
Okay, and it's 2-1. So he only needs to want the 1 point, not 2 points.
Yeah, he needs one, but Bullet scored with a Wasari. That's a 2-point score, so it's a higher value.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, the flags were a little late in signalling for that point, but it can be up to 2 seconds. So one judge can score within 2 seconds. If another judge scores, then it's recorded as a point.
You know, I've heard some comments, you know, talking, the 2 second delay, and I get it. I get there's a 2 second delay. But Zanshin, if you have Zanshin,
awareness,
then you're not going to get caught after that.
And as we see here, where within that 2 seconds, you might think you've scored, turn to signal for the coach, and get scored upon, or get hurt.
Yes. I had this conversation with Mohammed El Sohaini about the Zanshin.
And Mohammed, just for those who are not aware, Mohammed El Hosseini is the chairman of the WKF World Technical Commission.
Yeah, and we was talking about Zanchin, and it's easier to turn away. You get a lot of people turn away and celebrating too early. But back in sort of our era, 80s, 90s, 2000s, it was more of a health issue.
Yeah, I'm always.
Zanchin wasn't an option. You needed to be fully focused for those 2 seconds after.
Yeah,
you
the
scored.
level of contact was that much greater, wasn't it?
Yeah. So.
And the potential for injury.
Yeah. So
therefore.
I'm glad to see that they're really addressing this quite strongly.
And you see the way Boulet turned away, exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
Did his technique and turned away as though I'm going to stop the match. Now nobody else can do anything. But that's not the reality, is it?
No. And you could actually, it can come back on you one day, and if you don't score, then like that.
You can see in the top left-hand corner, as the action happened,
Bam.
Boulet threw the punch and then completely turned his back on his opponent.
So if, for example, that was a video review, would he score it?
On the basis, well,
Because the technique was good.
but his awareness has been lost. And that's part Zanchin awareness, and that is referred to now, I think, in the rule book as awareness rather than Zanchin.
Yeah.
But that is part of the 6 criteria. Awareness is part of the 6 criteria to score.
So that point would not have scored on video review.
No.
Okay.
And that's where you could get injured. As you see
Yeah.
there. Well, he was about to throw a kick, but the match had stopped. So it's 3 points all.
He can hold him.
One more point. And Zaplitny is in the driving seat.
I think he made a mistake there. He was quite vulnerable on that one leg. Yeah, in those dying seconds, I think Bullock made a mistake. It was the wrong strategy.
Yeah.
In that moment.
And having led that bout for 80% of the time.
Yeah, I think
his decision making made the difference.
I think so.
So
I think
it's
so.
almost that Boulet lost it rather than Zaplitny winning it.
I think, yeah, he'll be kicking himself when he looks back at the video and look at his decision in the last 2 seconds or whatever it was. I think he'll be replaying it. I know what I should have done, but because you have to take into consideration sometimes how strong your opponent is. Maybe that has worked for him in the past, to just lift the leg up and to hold somebody.
Yeah.
But he should have got a gauge of this guy's strength coming forward, and that maybe that would not have been the right decision to do it. To try to hold him.
Yeah.
That was a great point.
Very fast. So the second of the bronze medal bouts in the male minus 75 kilogram. This is between Azerbaijan and Turkey.
Neighbours.
Indeed. 21-year-old Omar Faruk Yarur of Turkey. Rashid Suleimanov of Azerbaijan, just 18 years of age. 21 UKG scored. Look out for the punches.
Calling now, Al, wearing blue, coming from Turkey. Please hold on over Farouk, you.
And Omar Farouk, you're 21 years of age. Twice he's been silver medalist in the A series, but neither of these have won gold medals in the Karate1 Premier League, although on 3 occasions Omar Farouk has been a silver medalist. Ma Junting from the People's Republic of China is the referee for the bout. And the World Games are going to be in China, in Chengdu.
Absolutely.
And China are now putting on more and more international competition. Recently, they had the championships in Hangzhou in the Premier League.
Yeah. Last year, the Asian Championships was there. They hold an international training camp for KUMITE and the youth now this year as well. So they're really proactive
And
in Asia.
do you have much strong working relationships between People's Republic of China and Hong Kong, China?
We do. We attend their. They have,
Collaboration between.
they have a China series
Yes.
that we are eligible to attend. So Hong Kong, Macau will attend. You know, and so we're actually involved.
So there's great opportunity for your athletes.
Yes, the China National Games also we're a part of. So we are very close, and of course, Hong Kong is a region, so we are as a region entitled to compete in the China National Games and their events.
Excellent. Oh, 2 minutes 12 seconds still remaining. No score from either of the fighters. Euro for Turkey, wearing those blue colours.
Euro seems to be a little bit more in control for me. He seems just calling he's initiating the triggers.
Yes.
And Suleimanov is reacting, more reactive, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the moment, psychologically, I think Euro is calling more of the shots.
Yeah, and he called for that one right at the right time. That's a 1-point score, and it's going to Euro, who now leads with the century advantage as well. Suleimanov coming straight back in with a score of his own.
And quite strong as well. A strong kick set up the front hand.
Suleimanov, no stranger to success. He's been a world bronze medalist as a junior. He's been active in the Karate1 Youth League. Farouk now with that 1 point and the Senchu advantage as we go into the last minute of the bout. Oh, now.
Lovely.
That came from nowhere, didn't it, William?
Yeah, he hasn't even suggested he was going to do that all match.
No. Amazing timing.
Oh.
I love the way he looked down, drew his opponent's attention to the tatami, and up came the kick from nowhere.
Beautiful. And
I
there's- yeah.
Didn't think he was expecting that Ashibarai to work, but it did.
Oh, and again, he's just showing he's in control.
Yes,
He's in control.
very much so.
Even just then, he just placed the kick. It wasn't a score, but you know, he's just saying, look.
So effortless, lifting his legs so high and just putting it where he wanted it to go.
And he's both stances. He's subtly changing his stances. Very subtle. I'm not even sure if that's getting picked up all the time. It's just is confusing his opponent a little bit, because he changes on the move. It's not a definite change. It's just he slides in and out of stances.
As you see there, from right stance to left stance, and picks up another point on the way. So it's difficult to say which is his preferred stance, because he seems to be comfortable in either.
Yes. He will have different things in different stances. So that's obviously his
amazing
Urama wash stance. It's right leg forward.
He's hooking kick. 9 points to 1. That gives him an 8-point differential, and the bout is stopped because of that 8-point differential. Totally in control. No real. He's almost not broken into sweat, has he? It's just been so casual.
Yeah, he would have realised halfway, you know, after the what appeared to be passive.
Yeah.
But actually, he would have realised that actually I'm in control. He's reacting to me.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm calling the shots here. And you give someone that talented that amount of space to choose when they're going to do something. 9-1 is the result.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, comparatively speaking, Hong Kong, China, and let's say Turkey. Turkey is a huge country with hundreds of thousands of people to choose from. Hong Kong, China, not so much.
3,000 members, not all eligible. You know, it's got a high participation. So in our program in the Hong Kong Sports Institute, we have 71 athletes. So that's junior, senior, cadet, under 13s, kata, kumite, development level, higher level. So the talent pool is small. So we pride ourselves in trying to create, trying to nurture, you know, and really retain athletes. I think for us, it's more about the retention.
Right.
You know, we cannot just say be binary, yes, no, yes, no. We have to retain.
Yes.
So we have to work harder at retaining them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Mayor minus 75 final. Quinton Moyden. 7 Yuko, but he scored Wazari's 4 Ippon. He got the whole range, but he's up against a tough cookie with this guy.
Abdulaziz doesn't really need an introduction. I'm not sure he's got enough time to list all his achievements. However, I look at Quinton and excitement. You know, he's an exciting fighter. He's matured over the past few years. Can he tip the balance here?
Well, he's going to have a tough call to do so, isn't he? Because Abdulaziz, as you say, hardly needs an introduction. He's just won everything. He's back-to-back now, wearing those gold shoulders. He's the grand winner 24, grand winner 25, Olympian World Games gold medalist. He's qualified for the World Games. Oh, my goodness. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, and I think he's just 26 as well.
Oh, yes, he's very much a young man. He's still got so much opportunity in the future as well. But it'd be interesting to see because, as you say, Quinton Maudin, he's been in all of the Karate One Premier Leagues this season, but he hasn't been in the medals. But he's going to get one today.
He's going to get one today. But just on Abdulaziz, I think for me, one of his subtle skills, what impressed me the most about this guy, is how he closes a match from a winning position in the last minute is a masterclass. We may or may not get to see him, depending on
how the bout unfolds.
Yeah, and I am not going to rule out Quinton because he can change a game very quickly.
There was the persistence of that attack from Abdelaziz that brought in that first opening score with a punch.
So, again, we've seen so many passivities in the first 30 seconds, but he's come out, he showed his intention. He said, look, I want to win, I want to take this. And now he's put the ball in Quinton's court and said, if you want it, come and get it.
Yeah, good counter punch from Quinton Mahoudin. Stood his ground this time. He went back when he got scored upon, and this time he decided to stand his ground and counter punch, didn't he? Has that slight height advantage.
Yeah, and he really has a strong understanding of self. He knows his range, and he can really adjust even in the exchanges. He can adjust his distance. He knows what technique to select at that given moment. So he really has a strong awareness of his distance and his limbs and how to use it well.
So a warning for Mahoudin. Oh. I love that he's just so calm, isn't he? There's no concern from you, it seems, from Abdelaziz.
He's just got such a high fighting intelligence, as well as strength, speed.
Yeah, it's speed of technique, speed of thought. His decision making is excellent.
Yeah, he ticks all the boxes. And already 3-1, I can see Mahoudin is struggling a little bit now to pull this back because it's at pace. So very clever. Abdelaziz is not allowing him to settle and to.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Now, did he take him down with both hands? That may have been a consideration, but it certainly was incredibly quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a warning sign, isn't it?
Yeah. So he didn't get that one. But he's not letting him settle. Red point. So Mahoudin has to get back in the game. He has to say, right, okay, let's manage the distance. Be ready, be ready. He can go from this point.
And he's only 2 points behind. He's still got a minute left, a third of the bout to go. So no need for panic.
So then now we talk about this last minute as how skilled Abdelaziz is in, I hope I haven't jinxed him, in controlling the outcome from this far out. Now he's just going to manage the match. He's going to spoil.
And you can see him closing him down, can't you?
Yeah. So within the rules, he can contain, spoil, and really cause problems even without attacking, but he can actually just mess them up.
Yeah. And from a coaching perspective, you take all of those factors into consideration in your training programs.
Yes.
Working with your athletes.
Yeah, so you know, you would teach them how to spoil. You would teach them how to manage the outcome. You know, what are the techniques and strategies that you would do to bring that result home, to control the outcome. You still have to take the opportunities. So maybe not take so many chances, but you definitely have to take opportunities. You have to remain dangerous.
Yes.
So the other person is not attacking freely.
You've got to be seen as a threat.
And by reputation alone, Abdelaziz has that.
Yes.
So even at this stage, you will not see Mahmoudin go in recklessly. He still has to be careful.
Of course he does.
On his approach.
That's a great shot. Grand winner, Rabat 2025. And we are looking at the grand winner, Abdelaziz. Back-to-back grand winners from 2024 and 2025. Going into a World Championship year, that's going to give him so much confidence.
Well, he's the best in the world right now.
Without doubt.
Irrespective of weight class, gender, he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
And there is so much that people can learn, you know, from this guy.
I was lucky to have him as a guest commentator because he didn't get into one of the finals. He lost to a Hante decision to Abdelgawid, a teammate, which gave me an opportunity to invite him as a guest commentator, and he was fantastic at that as well.
I am sure. See the controlled pressure, and he does this little jump in the air as they initiate, or he goes high. So then they would have to even go even higher to counter kick him.
Right. So there's a study of tactics and techniques from athletes of this caliber in watching video. Don't just watch the match, watch what they do, how they do it.
And don't assume that it's just in the moment. He knows exactly what he's doing and why and when. But it's not over.
No, there's another point from Mahmoudin.
Again, he's considered in his approach, and he's taken a point. He didn't let Abdelaziz spoil that opportunity.
He stepped off the mat to buy some time, and there's still 17 seconds to go, so he's safeguarding the Senchu.
Yes. And he gets a restart.
In the center. Into the last 15 seconds now.
He's covering. I think now we can see his legs going to be starting to move now.
Well, they went quickly that time, didn't they? There's a strategic step off the mat. This time he will lose the Senchu. And there's 0.7 of a second left on the clock.
And it would be very, especially Quinton, who's such a great kicker, it would be very risky to now close in to Mahmoudin. But if there's anybody that can do that and control that, it's going to be this guy. I don't think he would risk going backwards.
He did take a Jogai.
Yeah.
We know that. The Senchu has been lost, but clever tactics.
Yeah, and this is again why I'm so impressed with him is that 1 minute out he can close off the match and control that outcome, and he does that time and time and time again. From a minute out, I rarely see him get caught.
Tremendous athletes.
They've fought many times, and I'm sure in the future they will have some more.
No doubt. So after each championship or tournament or Premier League, whatever it may be, what do you do as a coach, as a team, as a squad? Do you study video? Do you look at what was successful, what wasn't? Not just with your own athletes, but with others?
Oh, absolutely. But we do it actually consistently. We will do it consistently. Every week there will be a video analysis session. So some time will go into either analysing our own players or analysing their opponents, or just great matches.